Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it's so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
All right, welcome into a Friday edition of the JP Peterson Show. Once again, we are 3 minutes late, as Devin Garnett so aptly points out, and we blame Tim. Yes, we do. It's always him. It's always him yapping before the show, try to do the pre-show, and I'm like, hey, let's go.
Hey, if we would start our pre-show sooner than 9:59 a.m.,
yeah,
then it was what happened.
All right.
We weren't even talking about show stuff.
Yes, we were. I mean,
hey, who's got two thumbs and always makes us late? This guy.
This guy. That's right. All right, we got lots to get to today. We're gonna do a little bit of everything today. We got some Bucs talk I want to get to. Are the Bucs bigger and badder than they were last year? The quick answer is yeah. They're definitely bigger. I think they're better. That remains to be seen. But I was thinking to myself, wow, my feeling on the Buccaneers has really changed since pre-draft, pre-free agency, actually just pre-draft. And has Ruben Bain done all that? These things can happen. So we'll get into that. We got lots of baseball to talk about because, it's Tarps off Friday. So let's go ahead. No, we're not doing that.
Thought we were no shirt 9 o'clock.
you and Colby used to do the last hour of your show without shirts on.
We had a whole whatever. We were cool way before Bert Kreischer was. Yeah, we had a whole intro and an open for it, and had a theme song that played, and we'd sit there. Remember, we were doing our show live at a bar every time. So we're at a bar full of people, and then this music plays, and we rip our shirts off, and we do the whole last hour of our show shirtless. It was great.
Yeah, I think we need to do that at some point. I think that needs to be done.
And technically, Central Time, it's 9. Like right now, it's only 9 o'clock Central Time where I am, so it's still no shirt 9 o'clock. So
yeah, that to make people see their breakfast again, revisit it. Yeah, just they go John Heavesley. Right there in the breakfast table.
That's right.
So we'll get to some Rays here. They got a big weekend series with the Angels coming up. That's a get right series, or at least it should be, because if this shenanigans continues of what we saw in Baltimore, which I don't think it will, but it will be Heavesley worthy to go ahead and just vomit again. Which is no way that can continue against the Angels. Although, listen. A lot of what happened this week in Baltimore was self-inflicted wounds. So it doesn't matter who you're playing. If you're continuing to play crappy, shoddy baseball, it don't matter who you're playing in the major leagues. You're going to get beat. You keep committing 3 or 4 errors a game, you're going to get beat. So, yeah, please use the AI filter if Tarps go off today. You know what? Yeah, how about that, Timmy? We could both look like Arnold in his heyday.
I can do that.
We can AI just, we'd take the shirts off and would be ripped. Yeah, I like that idea. See,
I might have a visual for everybody before the first break.
You might, Mr. AI. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. That'll be fun. All right, so we'll no guests today. So you guys are our guests, and that means get in the comments, and we'll read all your comments today. You be part of the show. Ask me anything, whether it's personal, whether it's related to any sports stories. That's coming up. By the way, there's an emerging story here coming out of Major League Baseball and the Washington Nationals with Trevor Williams, which is an explosive story. I've been kind of catching up on it today, and I want to read a little bit more in the breaks just to get a little bit more learning, because it's a very interesting story, very interesting and potentially explosive Major League Baseball story. Mm-hmm. So we will get into that. And it's politically charged out of Washington, D.C., which is shocking development.
Shocking.
Yeah, and I also wanted to hit a little bit more on the Major League Baseball Players Association and the owners putting out their 2 different versions of where this is going. And I'm actually pretty optimistic that we might be able to avoid an extensive work stoppage. I think both sides seem to realize that there is great momentum in baseball, and everything is heading in the right direction, and that means more money for everybody. So, if you screw up the momentum and make this a supercharged, nasty, labor situation like we've seen before, God forbid we lose a World Series in a season, that would just be absolutely cataclysmic to the sport. And there's no reason for it. There's no reason for it. Everybody's making money. Don't be stupid. There's more pie. If we did this, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when everything was trending down in baseball, I can understand guys digging in, but there's no reason to now because the pie's become so much bigger and it's getting bigger. And whatever you would have fought for 3 years ago, you're going to be given. And you got to understand that and not entrench and say, oh, well, we have to win the negotiation. That's when it gets stupid. You don't have to win it. Everybody can win here. Just be smart. Don't screw up the momentum that baseball has and get back to work. Everybody's making money. And hopefully Rob Manfred, and Manfred is not obviously a neutral bystander here. He works for the owners. So we can't say, everybody coalesce around a neutral commissioner like we had, 50 years ago. That's not the way it works anymore. He's a puppet of the owners, and everybody knows that, but there's still a very good deal to be made here for all baseball players. And if they fuck this up by entrenching both, I'm talking to both sides, you're morons. You are utter greedy morons if you mess this up where baseball is right now. So don't do that. And and I hope a lot of baseball, the voices of baseball, the John Smoltz of the world, the Cal Ripkens of the world, the guys that have been kind of caretakers of this game and really understand it, have played it, have announced it, they know the game. If these guys come out and say kind of what I'm saying, I think it'll have a huge impact on because they have a lot more credibility than me. I think that's what needs to be done. And we may bring Smoltzy on, and I might put that in his ear because he's got one of those voices that everybody trusts. And it's baseball's in a great spot. Don't fuck it up. All right, we'll get into the little particulars of it a little bit later on because it's interesting stuff. And the college football, I want to get a little bit more into that. We did it yesterday. There's a lot more discussion about the bill that's in the Senate today, and I think it's a great, great step forward and can really save college sports. But it's completely antithetical to what the SEC and the Big Ten are pimping, and so that means trouble is on the horizon. I'm much more positive about where baseball is going, much more negative about what's going on in college sports. So, but they can save that too. Once again, there's a huge freaking pie. Let's not screw this up. All right, I think that about covers setting up the show. We'll get to. I just want to hit the Rays right off the top. A couple of things here. Firstly, it's Tarps off night tonight, and this whole weekend it's going to be interesting to watch. I wish I could be there tonight, but I have some family obligations I have to attend to. So family comes first, always, right? So we can't be there, but I will be watching from afar and being there'll be some FOMO. No, definitely. I wanted to go there and rip off my shirt and twirl it around and be the fat guy. So, but we're not going to be able to do that. So maybe that's best for alls. But it's going to be fun tonight. There's going to be great energy in the building. And I love that. And hopefully the Rays can get better and win a series here. Hopefully sweep the decrepit Angels, get back on track. That's what we want to see. Nick Martinez, we'll see him, who's bidding for his first all-star selection. Maybe I should probably keep dumping on the guy because the more I dump on him, the better he gets. So I could take some heat for that. But yeah, I'm okay. Yeah. But he has just been absolutely fantastic. And the Rays, if they pitch the way they're supposed to pitch, and Taylor Walsh should be back in the lineup, get the defense working again, so to speak, back home in the Trop where they've been absolutely unbeatable. This is all good stuff. So hopefully they can right the ship tonight and get back at it this weekend. Oh, there you go. Well, there you go. Ashley's like, if only. If it only looked like that. Yeah. Yeah.
You think the Rays will use this as a marketing campaign? Maybe we'll go on a billboard or something?
I think they should. Absolutely. Yeah. And if anybody says that's AI, I will.
Yeah.
I will fight you.
I'll challenge them.
I will fight you. That is an actual picture from the gym last night, right there. That is 100% non-AI. Take it to the bank.
Got a tattoo right there I didn't know I had.
Right brain Borakua. Always, I think he's got a daughter playing softball somewhere. I don't know, which is great, by the way, if you do. College sports is not just football, you know.
We know. But if it wasn't for football, those other college sports probably wouldn't exist.
But what we're talking about, my friend, is what drives college sports.
Yeah.
What drives college sports economically? 90% football. So that's what we're talking about. So stop getting your panties in a wad. We're not discounting baseball, softball, the Olympic sports. We love them all. I watch them.
We're discounting some of them, but not all of them.
But so when we say that, college football drives the bus. So that's what we're talking about. So calm down. We're not slighting any other sport. All right. We love you, but calm down. All right. So Rays this weekend, looking forward to them getting back to what they're doing. Now, there have been a couple of things that have popped up in the last couple of days that I have to, we have to constantly go behind everybody and get rid of the misinformation and talk some sense into what's actually going on. So you can't make this stuff up because it's happened during our show yesterday. So I didn't want to comment on it until I absolutely knew what was going on. So there was an agenda item for some discussion on the city council meeting yesterday, and they voted unanimously to table it because Bill Carlson is acting like a baby. I mean, we have literally come to this position now where the city council, now I've been to a couple of meetings now, and I've kind of figured out what's going on here. And Ken Hagan came on the other day and, talked about it and kind of explained how the government works in the city government. It's heavily weighted on the mayor's office. And the city council is mad because the mayor is in the negotiations and the city council folks are not. Even though the Rays have had individual meetings with every single city council person and kept them abreast of everything that's going on, never says no. They're always available to these city council folks. If you want to be interested in what's going on in negotiations, this is what it is. We need your votes, whatever we can do. Oh, totally open door policy, right? But that's not enough. They want to be involved in the negotiations. And then when the negotiations are going on and city council members are not actually in the negotiations, they're mad about that. I'm trying to get the actual quote from Carlson. But basically, Carlson's saying that we need to table the motions because the Rays said publicly the other day that they're not going to negotiate anymore anyway on the MOU. And that is patently untrue. Patently untrue. It's semantics, yes, but to say it the way he said it is completely disingenuous. Completely. Now, what Ken Babby said was the framework is the framework, the economic framework, and that means the numbers are what the numbers are. We need 180 million from the city. We need 796 from the county. And when you get into where the money comes from, and it's crazy how they do this, where the money comes from, what it's meant for, et cetera, this becomes very, very important to these city council folks because they want to be able to go to the voters and say, no, what we voted for was this. And and it's all language appropriate and all these other things. And it gets down to some really stupid stuff, in my opinion. And this is what this is. This is a pissing match now on the city council between the city council, the two that are running for mayor, Hertak and Carlson, involving the future mayor, which is going to be Bob Buckhorn. You guys aren't winning. And you're going to sacrifice this incredible deal because of your personal ambitions as mayors, in my opinion. This is just my opinion. And we're messing around because you don't like the mayor. The mayor's got all the power and she's doing the negotiating and you're not in the room. I mean, it's just so freaking child. And we're going to table it today because Pabby said he's not going to negotiate anymore. So we're just not going to talk about it, which is just wrong. It's just wrong. And I know they voted unanimously, and I need to ask Clendenin what this is about. But I think it's more about, we got other business. We did this last week. Let's just move on. He knows He knows that we're not going to get anywhere talking about it up there. They've got to get in there and negotiate. Yes, they're going to continue to negotiate. Babby has said 1,000 times that we've got some issues to talk about, and we got to figure them out. But we're not, we've given a lot back. We've upped our number to 55%, and it's probably going to be more than that when they're done. And what the city's portion of it is 8% of the entire stadium project, and way less than that when you add the private investment that's going to be 8 to 10 billion. Well, you don't know they're going to do that, JP. Yeah, I do. You know how I know? Because they're going to make money on it. They're going to make a shit ton of money on it. Yeah, when they put up the condos that are selling for $4, $5, $6, $8 million, they're going to make money on it. That's why I know they're going to do it, because that's what people do. That's what developers do. That's what this whole thing is based on. One doesn't work without the other. So yeah, of course it is. And so basically what we're coming down to here is just it's a pissing match between political rivals and who's getting into the meetings and who's not getting into the meetings. And it's ridiculous. And based on that, we're all going to, get our panties in a wad and say no to what obviously I believe is, and many very smart people. We don't have to go through the litany of people that have endorsed this, and Chambers and the police and fire and West Shore Alliance and everybody else, the governor, blah, 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 blah. All these smart people that know what a great opportunity is. We're going to piss that away because this really clown show of a council with some of these members. It's going to keep this, an 85-year-old Charlie Miranda is going to keep this, who can't use a computer, this opportunity and all these jobs and everything. That's the guy that's going to keep this from happening and sending the Rays to Orlando. That's not possible. That's not in any world. That can't be possible. And the Rays aren't going to allow that. And Major League Baseball is not going to allow that. They're going to figure out a way. That's what I keep telling you guys. There's too much good stuff. We're too far down the way for this not to go through. And all this negative stuff and all these silly stories that keep popping up. Oh, the lands is just like the Trop, which is so ridiculously not even comparable. And how you could write a story about that and make it a serious subject at the Tampa Bay Business Journal, looking at you, knowing damn well it's not even close to accurate. And then everybody goes, oh, you got to include that. You got to include that as far as the public-private partnership. Ridiculous. And so all these things that are clouding the main thing, keep the main thing the main thing. So again, all these different things that people come, oh, did you see what happened at the council? It's not going to go through. It might. I have no crystal ball. I don't know. I don't have 100%, optimism that this gets done, because sometimes the knuckleheads win. That it just sometimes that happens. And
not this
these
time,
guys
though.
So these guys get so fucking fed up that they just go down the road. That this is stupid. I'm not. We're dealing with this. A councilman doesn't know how to work a computer, and this is going to stop what we're trying to get done here. And people, casting aspersions on these guys. And imagine if you did the same thing with Jeff Vinik, because these guys have the same passions and the same. But these guys aren't from here. Neither was Jeff Vinik. These guys are all Florida adjacent. They're Tampa adjacent. They love this place. They're here. Bill Crossgrove's lived in the Tampa Bay area for a long time, and they all have ties to Tampa Bay. And moved here, for God's sakes, so you guys want to kick out the next Jeff Vinik. Wow. That's crazy. But anyway, I don't want to go too far on this, but that's where we're at. And so again, a lot of people that are very, very influential want this to happen. Big time money. And I think, and it's not just because they're trying to take advantage of the taxpayers. That's just silly political theater. It's silly political theater. Don't fall for it. Do your research. Get involved in voting for the right people, which I will do for the future, because these things evidently matter. Rick says pissing contest. Will Charlie take off his Depends or use his catheter?
Wow. Does it count if there's a catheter involved? I don't think it does because you have to measure the stream, right?
Yeah. Rick says Miranda wants to bring his expertise and calculator to the table. Yeah, not going to help. All right, back to actual baseball. Alejandro chimes in, says, I want to sign Andrew McCutchen to see what he has left in the tank since we need outfield help. Maybe if he does better than Mullins, and again, for $780K pro-rated contract, it's worth taking a chance. Yeah, I mean, you call up guys like Victor Mesa who, have great young potential, but they're not ready yet. They're just not ready yet. McCutchen's from here. Be a really cool study, real cool story from Fort Meade. I don't know how much he has left in the tank, but I think he might be able to help this team. Now, listen, that doesn't preclude us from going out and getting a real thumper. I mean, that's in his prime. I mean, Andrew McCutchen in his prime, I would love to have that guy. He's a great dude. Did a story on him when he was in high school at Fort Meade, I believe it was.
I mean, the Rangers just DFA'd him, so.
Yeah, he's available, right?
Go get him.
Yeah.
Not playing very well.
Yeah. So I think we can do better. I love Andrew McCutchen. It would be a great story, but I think we could do better. But it's kind of a Kimbrel thing.
It was a great story here when he was here, like him even making the team. But that's what's going to happen to a 38-year-old who gets on base 80% of the time in spring training. You have to put him on the team. That's basically what happened with him.
Right. Yeah.
But as the season goes, he's going to fade a little bit because he's 38 years old.
Yeah. Yeah. Rick or John says JP loves oil on his chest. Who doesn't?
Yeah.
Who doesn't like getting oiled up? Come on now. Let's go.
Mark.
Actually, I hate that feeling. I hate the feeling of I don't even use sunscreen.
No, me neither.
I like putting the cancer chemicals right on the skin. All right, so let's move on to the Buccaneers. As Alejandro says here, Bucs look better from OTA so far. Like you said, JP, pre-draft looks somewhat grim, but Reuben Bain has flipped it for me. When training camp starts, will you participate and possibly go live there? Yeah, we'll do the same thing we did last year. We moved the show from 10 to, I think, 1 o'clock. So I can go take in all the day's activities in the morning and then the interviews, and then we bring it to you right then. I think that's the best way to handle it. In fact, we might do that for a couple of the upcoming mandatory OTAs because I really want to get out there and see it for myself. So, yeah, we'll do the same thing for that we did last year. So we'll be – and we're in our studio here is now so close to OTAs I don't have to set up out there and sweat my ass off. I could just come back here to the studio.
Man, what was it? 3 years ago you did that, and it was just hot.
It was brutal.
I could tell it was brutal, yeah.
We even had a little tent and everything, but now that we have the studio right here, it's perfect. So literally 5 minutes away, we can zip right back here and get in the studio and bring everything to you. So, yeah, we'll do
air conditioning.
We'll do that for the mandatory OTAs that are coming up. I'm going to try not to miss any more practices. I'm sorry for that. I apologize. What else? Kurt Thorson says, city council has me worried. Carlson led the charge. The Knicks raised decision yesterday. It's just a discussion until council are invited to be in negotiations. I mean, June 11th is the vote for the $100 million. It's childish. It's so childish. Come on, let's do better. You want to complain about something, find something in the deal that you don't like specifically, and let's talk about that. And this whole discussion on the CIT and which money is going to the infrastructure, not to the stadium, which it's legally could go to the stadium, but now the Rays have said, okay, even though we have the illegal opinion that it's fine for the CIT money to be used for part of the stadium, we'll back off that and we'll just shift that money towards the infrastructure. Done. We're done. Yet we're still talking about it. Why? Because they think it makes political points. It's already been solved. And you keep, this is the political part of it that fucks everything up to get anything done. So frustrating. Captain K says, I heard you the other day say that baseball is up viewership. Owners and players need to take note that they have a strike in the middle of the season, that could set baseball back once again. Yeah, it won't be in the middle of the season because it'll be a lockout by the owners for spring training. Yeah, it would be the dumbest thing ever. Literally the dumbest thing ever baseball could do. And because the fans are at a breaking point. Would you say so, Tim? You've been covering this shit for a long time. I think the fans, the prices, the money in sports in general, they're at a breaking point.
Yeah, for sure. The money is the biggest issue with the fans. Like, I used to enjoy taking my boys when they were younger to Rangers games in the 105-degree heat of the older stadium. But it's hard to get your kids interested in it when you can't go because it costs a family of four $350.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the number one complaint with fans. And now fans, not educated fans, not necessarily media, but the average fan that baseball needs to support itself, who can't go to, they're going to hear rich people and other rich people arguing about money, which is what this always comes down to, is money in one form or another, whether it's revenue sharing, whether it's a salary cap and a salary floor, whatever it is. And that those people don't have the time for that. And it's going to piss them off. Remember 1994?
Mm-hmm.
We've been through this. You younger people don't remember this, but we went through this. And it took baseball, 5 years to recover from that?
Yes.
And it took Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa hitting 70 home runs to do it.
And that's when the economy was good. That's when people could afford shit.
Yes.
Now you've got a situation where people can't afford anything. And you billionaires want to get in a pissing match with a bunch of millionaires playing baseball? That's a really bad look. You want to fuck up a sport that is absolutely on an express train? That's what you do. Go do that. And I'm here to tell you, you don't even have to have a lockout. If this just gets real pissy over, the winter, the December, November, December, January, and of course, negotiations don't really start to the deadline. If you guys wait around for that and you screw this up, I'm telling you, you will rue the day. You will rue the day. This is not the time for that pissing match. Don't do it.
And it's unfortunate because these issues, most of them, are real issues that need to get ironed out. Like, this is not just frivolous argument about how are we going to share $1 billion. Like, they're real issues. The salary cap and the salary floor, those are real issues. Revenue sharing is a real issue. I get it. But there's ways that you guys can get all this hammered out that's not so public, that makes you look bad and gives the sport and the league a black eye. There's ways to do this. And this is not it.
Yeah.
Get it done. Well, you know when your CBA expires. Get it resolved 2 years before, so we're not even talking about it.
Yeah, but nothing ever gets done. I understand the reality of it. But this is not a moment for a protracted, nasty negotiation. No. You don't need it. And you're already ahead of the game with what's going on. All right. What else do we want to get to? Here we go. Kier Thorson says, Tampa Bay Times and TBBJ, Tampa Bay Business Journal, salivating on city council drama. Hertak and Carlson want to be wined and dined or be the wrench that grinds the gears. I'd like reassurance. Tell me everything will be okay. Listen, I can't believe that this sophomoric political bullshit is going to stop something that is so awesome for the community. But we in the public need to call it out and say, I know you guys are running for mayor and all that bull crap that's going on. You can't use your office in the council to throw, all this drama into it so you can get your name out there. That is selfish. I understand you want to win an election. I get it. But your number one charge is to protect your constituents and do what's best for them with the public money. And even if you disagree on this, that's fine. Stop the childish BS. Stop lying. Stop obfuscating. Stop doing the childish stuff that makes us look like buffoons nationally, number one, in the Wall Street Journal and other publications that are now following this very closely. And do the right thing. At least act like adults, for God's sakes, and stop lying to the public. And Oh, the Rays aren't going to say they aren't going to negotiate anymore. So we're not even going to talk about them. Come on, dog. Jesus Christ. Be better. Josh says, are we going to have any more pictures, renderings for the stadium, like the interior of the stadium, or will that be until the MOU is binding? Yeah, I think, guys, that they have a general idea of what they want to do, but it's, the timeline is what it is. And people can say, oh, we got to rush this. Listen, damn, politics would take a billion years to do anything, the government, if they weren't put on some type of timeline. We don't need 6 years to figure this out. All right. We don't need that. I understand it sounds like a really good argument, but blah, 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 blah. You don't need that time. It's just more time to squabble and find little problems with this, that, and the other. And so somebody else can grandstand in their moment and get their name out there. That's all that is. You don't need any more. We've been doing this for what, 9 months now, 8-9 months to get the deal done. It'll be another 2 months. Let's get the deal done. Let's get some urgency to it and get the deal. At some point, you got to make a fucking decision and say yes or no. So I'm not down with that. Oh, we're trying to rush it through. No, it's been 20 years. And I know this particular process has been going on for about 8-9 months. That's plenty. Get it fucking done. The Braves got it done in 3.5 months. Their negotiations got it done. There's no reason for it to take 3 or 4 freaking years. Oh, we got to study this and no, you don't. No, you don't. Get it done. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back on the other side, get to more of your questions and comments. Whatever you guys want to bring to the table, whatever sport you want to talk about, whatever question you have, whatever you want to talk about, hot dogs and Memorial Day, or you want to talk about summertime and what you're doing. I don't care. The vacation, you ask me.
You want to talk about your favorite location to snort chocolate ants? We can discuss that as well.
Excuse me?
Oh,
okay. So yeah, I'm down. Whatever you want to do.
My bad.
We are brought to you by the great folks at Genesis of Tampa, our first hour presenting sponsor. We absolutely love those folks over there because I love my new Genesis GV70. It's the car, this SUV that everybody's talking about. You know why? Because it looks so good. It looks so good. It looks so good parked in my new JP Peterson Show. Have my own parking spot now with a sign. I'm going to show you guys that in the next. That's a big tease. Yeah, because that Genesis GV70 deserves that. That's what deserves its own goddamn spot. That's right. It's a fantastic car. People are talking about it because of the value, the technology, everything that goes into these Genesis cars. You look at them and you drive them and you say, oh, this is a $200,000 car. It's a $150,000 car. Nope. It's way less than that. And that's why people love them. And I love mine. And they're making deals at Genesis of Tampa. It's a new dealership. They are making deals and paying you big money for your trade. They want your trade. Time is now to make a deal. Take advantage of the situation. Go to Genesis of Tampa this weekend and tell them JP sent you. 801 East Bears Avenue, right up there in North Tampa. Back in 3. Pitch Roofing believes giving back is part of doing business the right way. That's why they proudly offer exclusive discounts to those who gave the most to our communities, including veterans, first responders, seniors, and teachers. And for listeners of the JP Peterson Show, there's even more good news. Pitch Roofing is now offering a special discount just for fans of the show. With so many roofing companies coming and going in Florida, it's important to choose a contractor you can count on long after the job is done, especially when it comes to honoring your warranty. Pitch Roofing is built for the long haul with a reputation for quality, transparency, and standing behind their work. Whether it's a repair or a full replacement, their team delivers honest guidance, quality workmanship, and no high-pressure sales. Call 727-67-PITCH, 727-677-4824, or visit pitchroofing.com to schedule a free estimate.
Pitch Roofing, roofing done right.
As the Rays enjoy being back in their Tropicana Field home this season that was ravaged by Hurricane Milton, Italiano Insurance wants to remind us all how important it is to be properly insured. 40% of you are underinsured. That can mean financial disaster. Let the experienced and friendly agents at Italiano shop your policies for the best price and the right coverage. Italiano saved me over $1,000 on our auto insurance last year, over $500 on our homeowners insurance. They can do the same for you. That's a grand slam. Might as well get a double play by adding flood insurance and business insurance to your portfolio. Costs less than you think, and trust me, you do not want to risk your home or personal wealth. That's a whiff. So step up to the plate and call 813-877-7799 and chat with our all-star agents at Italiano Insurance, or call our Boca Grande office at 941-964-0400. Hey guys, you already know that Riveters is the best sports bar in all of Tampa Bay, but now it gets even better for Rays baseball season. During all Rays games, check this out, $6 Tito's, $6 Jack, $6 margaritas, all during Rays games. Are you kidding me? And that's always a great pour from the great bartenders at Riveters. Great service, great food, everything is fresh, nothing is frozen. And let me tell you, if you want baseball and wings, you will not find any better than Riveters. Their sauces, like the blue cheese and the ranch and everything, is handmade, and the wings are big and they're perfect. Wings, baseball, Rays, Riveters. It all comes together during baseball season. Once again, in addition to all the great food and service you get, $6 Tito's, $6 Jacks, $6 margaritas. It's time to celebrate. Baseball season is back, and celebrate at Riveters. You know where it is, right there on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of the stadium. See you there at Riveters. It's Diamond Days at the Golden Diamond Source. Celebrate April's birthstone, which is diamonds, as they take center stage. Up to 20% off the diamond jewelry throughout the month of April. And don't forget, you could trade in your broken or old jewelry towards something new and beautiful. Gold prices are at a record high. Now is the best time. And by the way, they only sell natural diamonds at the Golden Diamond Source. It's real love. It should be real natural diamonds. Don't start your relationship with a fake diamond. Really, really bad idea. And for the Golden Diamond Source first-time buyers, they are going to teach you all about the 4 C's and all the different shapes and styles. They are able to show you a huge selection of inventory to choose from. And by the way, you can trust them. They've been in business for over 40 years. Don't buy something online. You have no idea what you're getting. 0% financing for up to 5 years. Make sure it's a Golden Diamond Source diamond. 3800 Ulmerton Road. Always online at goldendiamond.com. Hey, JP here for Genesis of Tampa and the Murphy Auto Group. I think the best way to experience a business is to use that business. And I just did at Genesis of Tampa. Just bought a GV70, a 2023, and it feels and drives all new. It's an absolutely fantastic car. The technology, the comfort, and the price, absolutely outstanding. Frankly, I never thought I could get into a car like this, but they made me a deal I could not refuse. And I also get the VIP service where you can just drive right up, their pit stop service. They'll top off all the fluids, make sure your air in your tires is good, new wipers if you want them. If you need extended service, they will come to you, bring you a courtesy car, and then bring your car back. What more do you want? The experience was just VIP all the way. And you can get that at Genesis of Tampa. And don't forget, you can get extended warranty, which I did. So I have worry-free miles up to 100,000, and all they do is just take it in. Actually, I don't have to take it in. They come to me. It's perfect. It's Genesis of Tampa right there, 801 East Bears Avenue, right off of 275. Go see them and tell them JP sent you.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show as we roll on this Friday. We're going to get to the Buccaneers here. Stop talking about the stadium, I promise. A big thanks to the folks at Riveters, where I will be going for lunch today. If any of you would like to join us, meeting some friends there, so come on down. Going to get some wings, baseball, Rays, and Riveters. You see it right there. I love that. And yeah, Rays all weekend long. If you'd like to come watch the Rays at Riveters, great place. They give away merch. They're one of the Baseball Watch Party partners. And they always have a happy hour going during the Rays. $6 Tito's. Good pours, by the way. You get the $6 Jack, $6 margaritas, and all the great food at Riveters. The best sports bar in all of Tampa Bay. That is Riveters right there on South Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of the stadium, next to Timmy's favorite spaceship.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, baby. All right, so I asked the question are the Bucs bigger and badder than they were last year? And that was kind of the charge for this offseason. And I think as we look at this roster now, And we see a lot of these guys coming on the field in OTAs, and we're hearing the interviews and Ashawn Robinson talking about it, Reuben Bain, people talking about Reuben Bain. You really come to the conclusion that that's an emphatic yes. That is an absolute emphatic yes. As you look across the landscape of this team, and Ashawn Robinson is, he's going to share time and with Cansey, and certainly is a great and can fill in for Vita Vea as well with his size. So it gives you a much bigger, portrait across the front of that front seven. Plus Anzalone goes 235. Levante David was 220. Servassier is 215, maybe 210, maybe 220. And now you've got the draft pick, brain fart, the linebacker. His dad played. What's his name? The linebacker in the middle. God, I hate when my brain farts like this. Anyway, much bigger, 230, 245, 240, and can run. These are you look across the board. Even Benjamin Morrison, and he's out there now and he's running around.
Trotter. Talking about Trotter.
Yeah, Trotter. Right? Thank you. Just across the board, you're bigger, you're faster, you're younger, which I think is a big thing. As much as we love Levante and Mike Evans, and I'm gonna say something here that's a little bit blasphemous, but it's a young man's game. And as much as I think Mike has a lot more in the tank, I don't think Levante had a lot left in the tank. I think you look across this roster and we're a better team. The roster is, I think, markedly better than last year. And, Dan Orlovsky came out and said it. You're looking a lot of pundits now, what they do, drafts over, OTAs are starting. So now they're coming together and they're looking at these new rosters and seeing how everybody put everything together. And you just cannot argue with the fact that the only thing you can argue with is, Robinson and some of these players, they're a little bit older, longer in the teeth, right? Anzalone, they're not spring chickens. How much do they have left in the tank? And injuries are obviously much more common as you get older in this game. Now, older guys can also play through a lot of things that younger guys don't play through. So I'll say that as well. So it's all about playing out there and being available and going to play. The Emeka Ibuka one-handed catch that the Bucs put online from the OTAs is making, we see guys do this, but he also did it. He also did the one-hand catch and didn't break stride and took it to the house. And with a speed burst that you're like, whoa, wow, that's interesting. So is this a better receiving core without Mike Evans? In general? Yeah. Yeah, I think it is. I think with Jalen McMillan back, the emergence of Emeka Ibuka, Chris Godwin back to being healthy, and having a whole offseason, we've seen what that looks like. And he came out that next year was leading the league in receiving, a year post after his injury. Well, 2 years post. And that's what we're doing here. Now, he's also 31 years old. I get that. But the Chris Godwin we saw at the end of the year last year was pretty damn good. The Jalen McMillan we saw at the end of last year was pretty damn good before Bowles shut down the passing game in the last few games. Those guys were really emerging. And Jalen McMillan is now, much more of a grown-ass man than he was when he first got here. He was spindly, I think he was a little overtaken, frankly, by the contact and the physicality of pro football versus college football. Yeah. And that's not the case anymore. So I think that's a guy that can really, really jump off the page. And Ibuka having a whole offseason to recover in his body, and it's only an underwear play, but that burst that you saw, you didn't see at the end of last year. He had hit the rookie wall. He was toast. But we saw glimpses of it early on. He was pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. So can you make a case that this receiving core is better without Mike Evans? I think you can. I think I just did. Throw Tez Johnson in the mix and then Hurst. I mean, this guy is, he's got the tools. Now that's, there's a lot of guys with tools that don't extrapolate it into the NFL model. So there's a lot to be seen, but you cannot ignore that there's a guy on this roster that's 6'4" and runs a 4.4 and plays football. And I've seen his skills in terms of how he catches the ball, how he high points the ball. Got to work on his route running. He's got to get used to the NFL, all that stuff. I mean, it's a huge jump from Georgia State, but he kind of handled himself well at the Senior Bowl against those guys.
Yeah.
And it's up to McClendon, the receivers coach, who's done a great job developing guys and getting them ready to get him ready. So you throw all of that into the mix. Is this a better receiving core than we had last year? Yes. 100%. Bigger, faster, more diverse, which is tougher to defend when you got one guy, Mike Evans. Not that again, we had Mike Evans at the end of the season. Mike returning, right? Coming off an injury. Godwin getting better, right? But still Ibuka in his first year, but then hitting the wall. So we had all these issues that aren't going to be issues this year. And maybe one of the reasons Mike left is because he saw what was coming up and like, I may not be able to get as many reps as maybe I would want to, because these other guys are really good. And if they're going to double cover me, I'm going to be a decoy all year long. And these other guys are going to flourish and I'm not going to get the numbers. He's not dumb. He knows how this league works. You're going to roll coverage to me and all these other guys are this good? Shit, I ain't going to see the ball. He's right. I mean, that's the way. And Baker's you have a young neophyte quarterback and he starts trying to force the ball to you like Jameis used to do with Deshaun Jackson. That doesn't work. The defense will tell you where the ball needs to go. And as a quarterback and an offense coordinator, you have to take advantage of those matchups. And Mike could see the writing on the wall. These other guys are really freaking good. And if they're rolling coverage to me, the ball ain't coming to me. It's going to them. So he wants to get more numbers and good for him. And maybe he saw some other things that he didn't like. Whatever, he's gone. This group as a whole is better, in my opinion. Do you agree? Disagree? Let me know what you think.
Well, it's definitely younger, right? I mean, the core, this core of receivers is definitely younger without Mike here. And, teams get criticized all the time. I don't know the history of the Bucs. I know this is true of the Cowboys for holding on to your so-called legends for too long, just out of sheer
respect,
loyalty and respect, right?
Get it.
And a lot of these guys play longer than they should, and usually they don't jump ship like Mike Evans did. But he had his reasons. We talked about it even before, JP. Is it the best thing for Mike Evans to come back to the Bucs in 2026? And we both agreed probably not. It wouldn't have been the best move for him.
Look
really,
at the hamstrings, man. The hamstrings are just
right.
They're chronic. And he maybe realized in the heat, it's never going to get any better. Maybe I'll go practice somewhere cooler and I won't be dehydrated all the time. And maybe I'll get less hamstring pulls.
Yeah.
But that whole electrical station right next to your, I don't know.
Probably not doing him any favors.
Need to put up some kind of lead shield, but be that as it may. I totally get it. But, those days are gone and we'll build a statue to Mike, as you guys are saying it, but I think we're better. So were we bigger, badder, faster in the receiving court? Yes, we are. 100%. I like it.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem for Mike. I don't want to get too much into Mike, and I don't know that we knew this going into it when he signed over there. Like he's going to have to be the guy in San Francisco. They've lost everybody. They're starting three are Ricky Pearsall, Mike Evans, and Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk, by the way, fellow Aggie. That's not
nobody cares.
Receiver core. Everybody cares. That's not a receiver core that instills fear into your defensive coordinator.
Yeah, you got Brock Purdy.
Okay, who's he going to throw the ball to?
Old man Kittle. Old man Kittle.
Throwing the ball to Christian McCaffrey for the first month until he gets hurt.
Yeah.
George Kittle's coming off an injury. I don't want to break down the 49ers, but that thing doesn't look great offensively going into this year. So, Mike, good luck to you, buddy. We're going to miss you, but don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you.
Mm-hmm. Now, a lot of Kurt brought up, of course, no Tristan Wirfs last-minute surgery last year. Yeah, that we've talked about this. To me, you start last year issues with the lack of continuity on your offensive line. Cody Mauch is back coming off the injury. He looks really big, really fantastic, and is grown into his man strength. You got Bredesen coming back, who's a little bit older, but damn, he was good. You drafted a guard from Notre Dame who might be better than the guys you had last year who filled in and were not good. We're not good. With all due respect, they were terrible. And you got Graham Barton now in his third year working with the two guys next to him. Those guys can stay healthy. If that offensive line can stay healthy, everything changes. You're bigger, better up front on the offensive line. You get a running game should be much more reminiscent of 2 years ago under Liam Cohen. That was second, third in the league. Then, and hopefully Bucky gets going. But if he can't get back to the mental and physical part that you want, you got Gainwell and who's coming on. So I love what the running game could be, and that sets everything up in the passing game with these really, really talented wideouts, bigger, faster, better. So all that is good for me. I love this offense, and you got an experienced play caller in Zach Robinson who knows what the F he's doing. As who was it to put it in? Nathan said, "Yeah, Josh Grizzard was a huge part of the problem last year." Yeah. We hope that Josh Grizzard the continuity would just allow this offense to be. And frankly, if had the offensive line been healthy, I think he would have been okay. But that just wasn't the case. Too many key injuries that a neophyte play caller could not overcome. Yeah. And then late in the season, obviously Bowles getting involved in what they were doing offensively and wanting to run the ball 30 times against the Panthers. And, that's not going to work. And Bowles needs to stay the hell out of the way with Zach Robinson. Just stay the hell out of the way. Let him do his middling in with the offense last year. I think was not a great time, to be quite honest. Get back to the defense, fix your defense, and let Zach Robinson do what he can do. You don't need to be meddling with that and telling him to run the ball 30 times or whatever the hell was going on. That's not a winning formula. So now we've kind of flipped. Go ahead.
I was going to say, and when you look at the offensive line and you look at the starters, you've talked about them. Wirfs, Bredesen, Barton, Mauch, and Gedeke. That sounds great. Like that sounds like that's
a top 5 offensive line.
A contending offensive line in the NFL. The problem is when you get to the depth chart and you're going to be in the same position you were in last year, because those names do not strike fear into anybody. My
nobody
8th
has
grade
great
middle school
backups.
Team.
Nobody has great
I feel like they're
backups,
deeper.
man.
I feel like they're deeper than what the Bucs have right now, though.
Yeah.
Feeney and Schooley.
Feeney's awful. I don't know why they brought him back, man. That guy. I mean, they know a hell of a lot more than I do, but turning on the tape, maybe he was injured. I don't know what it is, but he's old and worn out. He
was really good in Buffalo. Well,
how many years ago was that, bro?
I don't know, 3, 4.
He was terrible last year.
He was awful. He was awful.
Yeah, it just, when those two guys went in there, it was, Baker was running for his life, and he couldn't escape because the pressure was coming up the middle.
And he was hurt.
Yeah, and that's how he got hurt,
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's much better days ahead for this offense if this offensive line can stay healthy. And again, it's bigger, better, and it's faster. And that's just with guys coming back. All right, now you move to the defensive line, and defensively, this is where this makes such a difference. I mean, Reuben Bain is, it's so markedly best. Basically, he's taken over for Hassan Reddick. And Hassan Reddick was, 6'2", 240 pounds. Yeah. He's just not a big guy, and he had no interest in playing hard. And I think he's still out there. Nobody signed him. He was just, and I think that maybe he was a bit of a cancer in the locker room as well. I'll completely raise my hand and say I was wrong about that dude.
Yeah, we both were.
Yeah, I thought, once we talked to him, he had me snowed in. I was believing what he was selling. And, and it just didn't show up on the field. It just never showed up on the field. Didn't play hard, was not interested in it. It was more about self-preservation to try to stay healthy and get to another season. You could just see it in his play. He had no interest in it. And And that was costly. And now you replace that with some guy who was, this dude, by every account, is a maniac. He's a maniac. And when you're going that hard and that violent in freaking rookie OTAs, I can't wait to see what this dude does in the game. Listen, I've seen him play at that level. I was at the freaking FSU Miami game, and that guy was unblockable. He was unblockable. He was all over the field. I mean, he was destroying people. He plays with a chip on his shoulder that is you can feel it. It's measurable. And the guy, and yeah, can he transform a front seven? Yeah, he can. Yes, he can. And I just can't wait to see what that looks like in concert with everything else that's going on with Cansey and A'Shawn Robinson and Trotter and Anzalone. And even the defensive backfield, I think, has a little bit more attitude to it as well. I mean, Keontae Scott brings that same attitude that Bain has. And it's a nasty attitude. It's physical. They play smart football. They're aggressive. You watch Keontae Scott, he ain't sitting around letting guys catch passes 7 yards in front of him and then coming out and laying them gently down on the ground, which we saw a lot last year. He's jumping routes. He's coming up and he's hitting people. And that's infectious. And Tyke Smith is the same kind of guy. And I'd like to see Antoine Winfield get back to making some plays. And Parrish is a little pain in the ass. Yeah. So this is, I mean, I just look across this roster and I see a lot of good stuff. But you got, it's coaching. It's coaching and it's game managing. And I'm still going to come back to, Todd Bowles is what he is. And is this defense going to be so good that he only has to blitz when he wants to, not because he has to get any to get any pressure on a quarterback last year, they had to blitz. The front four could not do it alone. And that changes everything. I think the guys that they have now, it's a different story. It's a different story. And I think it's a culture thing too. Yeah, with the A'Shawn Robinson signing. I mean, the guy just brings a different level of nasty. And I'm here for it.
Now I don't have the same concerns on the defensive line that I do on the offensive line. I think that unit is much deeper.
As Nathan Elliott says, Payne, Robinson, Vea, Diaby, Muhammad, and we were really talked about Alquan Muhammad. I don't. Yeah. No, I look at his numbers last year, 11 sacks, which was obviously the best of his career, but he can give you something. You've got a lot of guys coming in that are just different attitudes, different type of culture, and that's exactly what this defense needed. And I think Jason Light did a tremendous job in this offseason to fill the holes that were evident on this team, to change the culture, change the size, change the speed, and get younger at key positions. And I'm here for it. I'm excited about this team. It still can be held back by terrible decisions and game management late in the game, because that's, unfortunately, elite coaches make a difference in this league. They just do. And he's not. He's just not an elite coach. The record proves that. Do you think too big of a sample size here?
Do you think he would be an elite, or I wouldn't even say elite, top 10 defensive coordinator in this league if that was his only role? Still,
yeah, because he was when he was doing it. Yeah, when he was just a defensive coordinator, he was a lot better. But when you put, and as I said many times, being a head coach and directing a defense or an offense is an extremely difficult job. And there's maybe 5 or 6 guys on the planet that can do it. And I'm not one of them. So when I criticize Todd Bowles, it's not because I think I couldn't come close to doing anything that guy does as far as a coach. I mean, that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, to be elite in this league, you see it, you understand it. You look at the record. I mean, wins and losses. It's there. These things are measured. And when you have a huge sample size like this, it's a no-brainer. I mean, the guy just cannot get it done in key situations, especially when they get to the playoffs. That's the cold, hard truth. Yeah. And can he be better this year? I hope so. I hope so. Maybe things fall our way. It'll sure help him if these guys can stay healthy. That's for damn sure. Mike asks, if you had to build an NFL team, would you go more offensive heavy or defense? That's a great question. And cliches are cliches because there's a lot of truth in them. Defense wins championships, and it's across the board. It's across the board in all sports because it's not the flashy part of the game. I told you, go watch baseball games with an eye towards defense and say, if they had a better player there that could have made that particular play, what would the situation be? And you'll see within a game, there's probably 9 to 15 plays in a game that could go either way based on how good you are defensively or how guys are making defensive plays. And it can change almost every single game you play in baseball. And I would submit to you in football, it's the same thing. The Bucs have won 2 Super Bowls, and I would contend that the defense was led the way in both of them. Certainly the first one. And even with Brady, that defense balled its ass off, especially late in the season and in the playoffs. Let's look at the Super Bowl. It's just, it's defense. So I think if you have, because here's the thing, you can find offensive players. It's much easier to find great offensive players than it is defensive players. Think about that. That's why defensive players are at such a premium higher in the draft. And it's just, transformative offensive players. Listen, if I got Tom Brady, I'm going to win. I mean, that's true too. But I would say generally, if I was building a team, I would do 2 things. I would build the baddest defensive line and the baddest offensive line. I would put all of my high picks into that and I'll go find a quarterback as a free agent. If I was a general manager, I would never try to chase a young quarterback. Never, because it's so unpredictable. And to get the great ones, you got to be at the top of the draft, right? And if you're at the top of the draft, that means the rest of your team sucks. And if you bring in Tom Brady, Brady was the first overall pick and went to the New Orleans Saints when they were shitty, he would never have been Tom Brady. Nope. Never. Wouldn't have survived the first few years. Confidence break, physical break. No, it's almost freaking impossible to build a team like that. So yeah, I would build defensive and offensive lines. That's all I would do. And then I'd go find receivers, running backs, other guys. It's where you win.
You want a quick comparison of your 2002 Super Bowl team and your 2020 Super Bowl team?
Sure.
In terms of defensive points allowed. And I know there's tons of variables. This doesn't tell the whole story, but I think it does tell a story. So in 2002, obviously there was no wild card for you that year. You beat the 49ers 31-6 in the division round. Conference championship game, you beat the Eagles 27-10. And in the Super Bowl, of course, over that high-powered Raiders offense, don't forget, they were good, 48-21.
Yeah.
So you allowed 6, 10, and 21 points in your 3 games. In 2020, again, Tom Brady gets all the love, and the offense gets all the love because you scored 31, 30, 31, and 31 on your way to a Super Bowl win. Your defense allowed 23 points against Washington in the wild card, 20 against the Saints in the division round, 26 against the Packers in the conference championship, and 9 against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah. So it wasn't great, but it was good enough.
Oh, well, when your offense is scoring 30 every week, it was as good as it had to be.
Yeah.
So,
but down the stretch, they were, they did what they had to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Bowles was really good. Obviously in the Super Bowl, they were at their best. So, I don't know about this. Lee Bomer says, statistically speaking, special teams actually wins championships. I don't. Now, if you're saying game-winning field goals at the end are special teams, well, yeah, I would, yeah.
But the offense had to get them there.
What are you, Lee? We should look into hiring a special. What are you, Rich Bisaccia as agent? Get out of here with that.
Rich Bisaccia. Poor Rich. Rich almost died here in Dallas.
Did he?
Yeah, when he was here, they were still practicing out at Valley Ranch. They had the big tent enclosure, that was air conditioned, and we had a thunderstorm roll through here, and it collapsed that. And like while everybody was inside of it.
Jesus.
And he was critically injured in that thing and ended up breaking his neck.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a time.
A bad deal.
I think he did become an interim coach at one point. Good dude. David Terry says, yeah, at the beginning of last year, Todd had a Bruce mentality, no risk it, no biscuit. And then later in the year, he got way too conservative. Yeah, I mean, remember, we actually let the Texans score. Like, Bruce, I remember talking about this. Bowles like, oh, my God, he actually let them score just to get the ball back at last and win the game. And that's what Baker did. And then at the end of the year, we're talking about, we got to run the ball 30 times against the Panthers. Horrible pass defense. I mean, geez, old Pete. Yeah, it seemed like when everything went so bad, he just went back to his conservative tendencies. Get up 14 on the Falcons, rush 4, drop 7. They go right down the field, and 10 minutes later you lose, giving up 3rd and 28 and 4th and 14. Yeah, that's
by the way, Rich Bisaccia went 7-5 as the Raiders head coach in 2021.
That was an interim deal, though, right? Yeah.
Lost to the interim head, lost to the Bengals in the AFC wildcard game.
Yeah, got them to the playoffs. That's right.
Yep. And didn't get retained. He did that as the interim coach, and you don't hire him as your head coach. I remember that. Like, what are we doing?
Right. John Hill says only 31 seats are unsold in sections 139, 141 for tonight's Tarp off. Tickets per Ray's email at $24.60 per seat. See, this is marketing. They never did this shit before. Yeah, we got to do that. I'm sorry, guys. I wish I could go tonight, but I got family obligations, so I cannot. I apologize.
Well, then, JP, if you can't be at the stadium with your shirt off, wherever you're at with your family, you need to have your shirt off just in support. And we need pictures.
Okay, well, maybe we can do that. Mike says, if you go through the Bucs schedule and predicted wins and losses, no, we're not doing that. I mean, we can do that next segment if you like. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back on the other side, and maybe we'll run through the schedule and do wins and losses now that we've got a feel for what other teams might be like, even though we have no freaking idea. We'll do it. Why not? When it's Friday, right? You asked, we shall deliver. So Timmy will pop up the schedule. We'll go through them and see what we come up with. How's that? How's that for responding to you, Petermans? Hey, we're brought to you, as you know, by the great folks at Italiano Insurance. I had a person come up to me the other day and said, hey, thanks for the Italiano tidbit. We called them. They did our homeowners insurance and our auto insurance and saved us over $1,000. That's what it's all about, folks. There's always new companies coming into the marketplace. They want to get more people signed up. They'll offer some lower rates to get that done, and you take advantage of it. Now, they may increase your rates the next year, but you can go do it all over again if you want to. I've done that many, many, many times. Just keep moving it around. What does it matter? As long as you're with a good company, if it's a lower price, I'll take it. And that's what I do. And I let Italiano Insurance do all the work. You save all the money. It's pretty easy. 813-877-7799. Back in 3. Well, the folks at Third Generation Plumbing and AC want to say thanks for making them so dadgum busy. Of course, advertising on your favorite Tampa Bay sports talk show helps, but it's their incredible customer service, honesty, and integrity that have earned them tons of 5-star reviews. And now you could be part of the team at Third Generation. Yes, they are so slammed, they need to hire more certified AC technicians and plumbers. It's a great family business to work for. My buddy John Rodriguez runs an old school family business since 1995. They pay well, give you all the holidays off, and they offer great benefits. No cold corporate atmosphere here. You're part of the family. If this sounds cool to you, call them and apply at 813-961-8024, or you can email your resume in at thirdgenerationplumbing.com. Just go to the website, you'll see the button, email them, or call them at 813-961-8024. And don't forget about the $169 yearly maintenance special. It's a no-brainer, guys. thirdgenerationplumbing.com, and they also do AC.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite.
I love it.
So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Sports fans, it's time to gear up. Head to fanstreamsports.com and check out our brand new merchandise store. We're talking bold t-shirts, 3/4 zips, hoodies, hats, mugs, and more. Everything you need to rep your favorite shows and your favorite crew. Whether you're rolling with the JP Peterson Show in Tampa Bay, From the Rough in Dallas, the Tim May Show featuring Clay Hall, or the Jeff Thidoff Show in Ohio, or any of our FanStream Sports original programming, we've got the perfect look for game day and every day. So don't wait. fanstreamsports.com. Click merch and grab your gear now. Wear the stream, live the stream, fanstreamsports.com.
Welcome to Kingmakers, home of the JP Peterson Show studio and Tampa's premier business networking and social club for members only. By day, it's an exclusive, vibrant co-working space with a stylish conference room, focus rooms, a full production studio, and an in-house marketing team. And by night, Kingmakers transforms into a sports-centric social hub with a full sports bar, golf simulator, and exclusive events. For young entrepreneurs and seasoned professionals, it's the perfect place to work hard, play hard, and make big moves in Midtown Tampa. Close the deal, celebrate the win. Only at Kingmakers. Become a member today at kingmakerstampa.com. Your business, your club. Hey, JP here for my concierge medical professional, Chris Lugo, PA. You've heard him on the show for a couple of years where he shares invaluable medical, nutritional, and supplement advice. With Chris, it's like having a medical provider as your best friend. What I love about this concierge service is the convenience and support he offers. I can text or call him 24/7 with any questions or concerns, and he'll promptly call in a prescription if needed. No office visits or copays required. It gives me peace of mind knowing I have someone genuinely invested in my health, not just focused on insurance profits. And the best part, the Bay Area Modern Medical Center's personal concierge service is more affordable than you might think. Don't let insurance companies dictate your health care. Take control of your health and wellness today. Visit BAMMC.com for more information and to schedule your initial free consultation. Empower yourself and take charge of your personal health with BAMMC.com.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show here on this Friday. It's Tarps Off Friday at the Trop tonight. So there's a few tickets remain in those specific sections. Doesn't mean if you go to the game, if you're sitting somewhere else, you can't walk over, and take your shirt off. You don't have to be sitting in those specific sections. So it's going to be fun to watch tonight. I'm very much looking forward to it. Wish I could go. Cannot.
I'm sure the camera will find you wherever you are.
Yes, yeah. Represent the Petermans well. Come on, guys. Get out there, and I want to see stuff on your socials. I'll retweet it. So let's get after it. Do what you got to do. You know what you got to do. Anyway, we're brought to you by the great folks at Third Generation Plumbing and American Standard Heating and Cooling. They are your dynamic duo for your HVAC needs as the summer approaches. Make sure you call the folks at Third Generation Plumbing. They also do AC. And tell them you want the AC special, $169, gets you 2 visits. Well, they'll come out and shake out the drain line there. Shake out your drain line. Make sure it's not clogged so you get efficient cooling in the summer and it doesn't shut down. Because that's a bitch. That's happened to me many, many times. But now that I'm with Third Generation Plumbing, it doesn't happen anymore because we got the maintenance package. $169. They come out twice. That is a steal, by the way. And make sure that everything's working great. And if you need a new unit, that's where you go to American Standard Heating and Cooling, the most durable, the most efficient units. And they'll put it in for you, and you will be set to go. 0 interest plans as well. thirdgenerationplumbing.com. Tell them JP sent ya. All right. You want to do this schedule thing here, Timmy?
Yeah, I've actually done this already. I was waiting for this segment. I did a post draft. I did this before the draft, and of course that never makes sense, but I did it post draft, a game by game, and then a postseason analysis of what I think the Bucs are going to do this year. So I'm prepared for this, JP.
All right. Well, I'm always prepared. So let's go. Do we have music for this? Maybe not.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the music. Okay. All right. Dun, 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 dun. September 13th, as the Bucs travel to Cincinnati to take on Joe Burrow and the revamped Bengals. This is a big game for Cincinnati. It's a home opener, obviously, and they've revamped that defense, offensive line. Hopefully, better for them. I think Cincinnati could be a scary team. I mean, obviously, when you got Burrow and Shea, you got a group that's really, really elite. I'm going to have to call this an L for the Buccaneers to start the season.
And this is you're opening the season on the road against what we think. And I know the Bengals have historically started the season really, really slow.
Yep.
I think this year they correct that, especially opening against the Bucs. I've also got an L for the Bucs to open the season here.
All right. We agree with that. All right. The home opener against the Cleveland Browns, 1:00 on CBS. It's a W. I don't even think we need to get into this.
By the way, Deshaun Watson most likely starting quarterback for the Browns.
Dub.
I also have a W.
All right. All right. The next week, here come the Minnesota Vikings and Kyler Murray. Will it be J.J. McCarthy? We don't know. I think it's going to be Kyler Murray.
It's going to be Kyler Murray.
This would be a test. I think the Vikings are a really good football team. Kevin O'Connell, great coach. It's a kind of a coin flip here, but I'm going to go W against the Vikes.
I think Kyler Murray starts and throws 4 picks against this defense, JP. That's a win for the Bucs in week 3.
All right. We agree. We're in simpatico here. All right. The next week, what is it? The October 4th, is this 3 straight home games? I see this. Okay. Yeah. 3 straight to start the season. The Bucs have started 4-1, I think, almost every year under Bowles, close to it. So I like the Bucs here. I don't think Micah Parsons is going to be back. And when he got hurt, the Packers were a pretty ordinary team. I'm not a huge Jordan Love fan. I think he's a good quarterback. I don't think he's great. So I call this a W. I'm going to give him 3 wins.
I think this will be an offensive shootout. I am a Jordan Love believer. I still think he's the best quarterback to come out of that class, which was a highly touted class, by the way. Mm-hmm. And I think the offense will show up for the Bucs. I think the offense will show up for the Packers. And I've got like a 45-41 Buccaneers win.
Ruben Bain breaks Jordan Love in half. Bucs win. All right, so I got
either way, the Bucs win.
I got him 3-1 at the quarter pole. All right, we're going to Dallas to take on the Dallas Cowboys. 8:15 on Amazon Prime, a Thursday night. It's a quick turnaround for the Buccaneers. Got to go on the road. L.
That's an L. We're going to be at that game, right, JP? We're both going to – you coming to town for that?
Yes, I'm coming to town for that. I will be there. Yep. Right. Make plans for that for sure. Followed by preceded by a show on Thursday in Dallas.
Yeah.
Maybe even Wednesday. Maybe Wednesday there. I do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday in Dallas.
That'd be awesome in the studio.
Yeah. Let's do that. Let's make plans on that.
I'll get a new keg in the kegerator for us.
Nice. All right. Then we get the mini bye, and then here come the Pittsburgh Steelers. October 18th, 1:00. Going to be another hot one. I'm going to give the Bucs a win over the Cowboys here. Steelers. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers will be hurting by then. I don't know. I'm not. It's their first year without Mike Tomlin. I don't know what Pittsburgh's going to be, but I'm going to give the Bucs a W in that one.
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers will not make it to week 6, JP. This will be Mason Rudolph starting. And it's a win for the Bucs. Easy win.
All right. October 25th, we go to the Charlotte Panthers, Carolina Panthers in Charlotte. I like what the Panthers have done. I think this is a shootout game. But I think the Bucs will win this one. I'm going to give them a W.
Our first difference here. I've got the Panthers winning that in a blowout at home.
All right. So we're not agreed there.
Nope.
Yeah, I could see the Bucs. I don't think they're going to get blown out, but yeah. All right, then they're back home against the Falcons. I could probably say those two games, they're probably going to split those games. So, but I can't say we're going to lose to the Falcons at home. Not after what happened last year. I just can't see that happening. So I'm going to give them a W.
All right, yeah, I've got a win against Atlanta as well.
All right. Then the Bears and all their fans coming to town, or we got to go to Chicago on November 8th. That's a Sunday night football. I'll be there with my son, Cullen, who lives in Chicago. So I'll be covering that game up there. Chicago, that's going to be I'm going to say that's an L for the Buccaneers. That's
I've got a W, JP.
Really? Yeah, you're not a Caleb Williams guy.
I think the Bears come back to earth. Caleb Williams shows his true fingernail colors, and that's a loss for the Bears.
All right. Then we have the well-placed bye week, followed by a trip to Detroit. This is a place where the Bucs have they won a couple of years ago. I don't know, but I'm gonna say that's an L though.
Yeah, I've got an L in Detroit for Week 11 as well.
Yeah, I think Detroit's going to be good this year. They don't have a whole lot of changes. I think that's an L for them up there. It's a place to win. All right, November 30th, Carolina comes here for a Monday Night Football game, which will be on MOR TV, by the way. I will be involved in a pregame situation there of some type. So look forward to that. And this is going to be a big win for the Buccaneers. So I got a W.
I've also got a W on Monday Night Football.
Monday Night Football. Next week, the following weeks, here comes the Chargers. The Fighting Harbaughs come here.
Isn't that the Giants? We can say that about the Giants, too.
Yeah, both of them, yeah. I think the Chargers going to be a good football team. I really do. Justin Herbert, I'm going to go L here for the Bucs.
Oh, okay. So I was a big believer in Justin Herbert. Him coming. By the way, same draft class as Jordan Love. And I've been a supporter of Justin Herbert for whatever reason. I have no ties to him or his school or anything. I've just always liked him. After last year, man, I am done thinking Justin Herbert is a good NFL quarterback. He showed me he's gutless, spineless. I thought Harbaugh would fix him. I've seen nothing from he's regressing, if you ask me, under Harbaugh. I've got a win for the Buccaneers in Week 13 against the Chargers.
All right, then they go on the road to Baltimore December 13th, which could be a cold weather game at 1 o'clock on Fox.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson, Jesse Minter, the new head coach there. Lamar will be beat up by this particular time, but the Ravens are a good football team. A lot of people picking them to win and make it to the Super Bowl. So I'm going to give the Bucs an L there at the Ravens.
So I've got an L here, but for different reasons. I'm not a believer in Jesse Minter. Was not a fan of that hire. I don't think the Ravens are going to be a great team under him. What's his name? Lamar Jackson. He's at the point of his career where you do it or you don't. You're running out of chances. And I just don't think he is a Super Bowl quarterback. I think he's a Super Bowl running back, maybe a Super Bowl wide receiver, but I don't think he's a Super Bowl quarterback. That said, JP, wow. I think this is going to be one of the games on the calendar late in the season that we're going to look back on and say the Bucs really should have won this game, but they didn't. That's an L against the Ravens for me.
Yep. All right, then they come home against the Saints December 20th. I think the Saints will be toast by then. They just don't, Tyler Shuck might be a better quarterback there. Kellen Moore. I got to see more. I got to see more from the Saints, and I still think they got major problems along both the offensive and defensive lines. So the Bucs should win this in a game they got to have to keep their playoff hopes alive.
Yeah, this is a blowout game at home for the Buccaneers. It's definitely a win.
We don't blow out anybody.
Especially not the Saints, right?
Yeah, I think as soon as we get a 2-score lead, it's conservative time. And unfortunately, all right. Then we got the Falcons up in Atlanta. This will be I think the Falcons are going to hang in there around 500. So this will be an important game for both teams. I'm gonna say the Bucs. I'm gonna think they go on the road and get a win at Atlanta.
I have a W here as well. Just wonder who's going to be playing quarterback for the Falcons by then.
See, that's the thing.
Still be Tua.
Yeah, that's the thing. I just
Michael
have no belief in either one of their quarterbacks, quite frankly. All right, then the Rams come here January 3rd on their way to another NFC playoff berth. This will be for maybe I think the Bucs will be in the playoff hunt at this particular time, but let's just be honest. McVay owns bowls. They're not winning this game. LA wraps up their seeding with a win in Tampa.
I differ, JP. I think this is a game that we're going to examine and break down and say probably predict the Rams win by 15 or by 2 touchdowns. This is a game where while the Bucs are fighting for their playoff lives and fighting for a division title against, I think, the Panthers at this point in the season, I think they come out and surprise us against McVay and the Rams, and they get the W.
Okay. All right. Then the final against the Saints on the road at the Big Easy,
Superdome,
which is never easy. I think the Bucs escape with a win at the gun on a field goal, a 52-yarder, and they go into the
McLaughlin kick it.
Of course, our boy Chase. Chase puts them into the playoffs with the W. All
right, JP, I will see your game-winning field goal, and I will raise you a miss on the final play of the game by McLaughlin from 40 yards. Misses the kick.
Yeah, you know.
And I've got a Saints win in that game a game that the Bucs need to win the division, and they come out with a loss against the Saints.
Wow. Do we make the playoffs or no? What's your record? Final record?
My final record, JP, 11-6. And I've got them one game behind the Panthers, who win the division at 12-5.
Oh, I got the Bucs at 10-7, and they win the division with a tiebreaker on the McLaughlin kick.
All right. I've got the Buccaneers beating the Panthers in the wild card as Baker Mayfield wins in a playoff shootout. One for the ages, a classic, an instant classic at Lambeau. I've got the, however, Eagles beating the Bucs in the divisional round 30-24.
Yeah, I'm not going to go into the playoffs. I don't need the shenanigans of predicting that, but I have the Bucs going to the playoffs, and then maybe if they win the division, they'll have a home game and lose against somebody at home, probably.
You maybe want my season projections for some players here that I've got?
Okay.
Yeah. It'll change, but this is what I had. When I did all of this, I tried to play every game in my head and kind of get stats going and went full bore on it. Did this for the Cowboys too. Baker Mayfield, 4,400 yards passing, 33 touchdowns, 9 interceptions.
Okay.
A big rebound year for him. Bucky Irving, 1,250 rushing yards. Jalen McMillan, 1,200 receiving yards.
That can happen. Could see that.
Reuben Bain Jr., 9 sacks.
Okay.
Yeah. And how about Antoine Winfield Jr. rebounding and making the Pro Bowl next year?
Okay. Well, I think he made it this year too, but kind of
but it was a bad season. Bad season.
Yeah. I don't think he was great. I don't think he was bad, but I don't think he was great.
He definitely didn't play for the contract that he got, right?
No, I definitely did not live up to that contract.
So there you go.
All right, we got a lot of Bucs comments coming in here, so I'm going to get to that when we take this break. So we'll take a break, come out the other side, get to all your comments on the Buccaneers and anything else you guys want to bring to the table. This Trevor Williams story, I want to talk a little bit about that as well. And the greatest choke in sports history?
Probably.
Yeah, I think it is. It just happened, yesterday? Was it yesterday? 2 days ago, maybe. Mm-hmm. It was, wow. That was a wow. So whatever you guys want to talk about, bring it to the table. We're brought to you by the great folks at Kingmakers, kingmakerstampa.com. If you want to come join me in the studio here and be a member here, you can do that. We also have a golf simulator. We got a sports bar here. Great place to hang out. If you're looking as an entrepreneur, you're looking for some shared office space. We've got shared office space. We got a conference room. All this thing, really, really cool setup here at kingmakerstampa.com. Check it out on the website. Come take a tour and tell them JP sent you. Back in 3. Hey, JP here for Genesis of Tampa and the Murphy Auto Group. I think the best way to experience a business is to use that business. And I just did at Genesis of Tampa. Just bought a GV70, a 2023, and it feels and drives all new. It's an absolutely fantastic car. The technology, the comfort, and the price, absolutely outstanding. Frankly, I never thought I could get into a car like this, but they made me a deal I could not refuse. And I also get the VIP service where you can just drive right up, their pit stop service. They'll top off all the fluids, make sure your air in your tires is good, new wipers if you want them. If you need extended service, they will come to you, bring you a courtesy car, and then bring your car back. What more do you want? The experience was just VIP all the way. And you can get that at Genesis of Tampa. And don't forget, you can get extended warranty, which I did. So I have worry-free miles up to 100,000, and all they do is just take it in. Actually, I don't have to take it in. They come to me. It's perfect. It's Genesis of Tampa right there, 801 East Bears Avenue, right off of 275. Go see them and tell them JP sent you. As the Rays enjoy being back in their Tropicana Field home this season that was ravaged by Hurricane Milton, Italiano Insurance wants to remind us all how important it is to be properly insured. 40% of you are underinsured. That can mean financial disaster. Let the experienced and friendly agents at Italiano shop your policies for the best price and the right coverage. Italiano saved me over $1,000 on our auto insurance last year, over $500 on our homeowners insurance. They can do the same for you. That's a grand slam. Might as well get a double play by adding flood insurance and business insurance to your portfolio. Cost less than you think, and trust me, you do not want to risk your home or personal wealth. That's a whiff. So step up to the plate and call 813-877-7799 and chat with our all-star agents at Italiano Insurance, or call our Boca Grande office at 941-964-0400. It's Diamond Days at the Golden Diamond Source. Celebrate April's birthstone, which is diamonds, as they take center stage. Up to 20% off the diamond jewelry throughout the month of April. And don't forget, you can trade in your broken or old jewelry towards something new and beautiful. Gold prices are at a record high. Now is the best time. And by the way, they only sell natural diamonds at the Golden Diamond Source. It's real love. It should be real natural diamonds. Don't start your relationship with a fake diamond. Really, really bad idea. And for the Golden Diamond Source first-time buyers, they are going to teach you all about the 4 C's and all the different shapes and styles. They are able to show you a huge selection of inventory to choose from. And by the way, you can trust them. They've been in business for over 40 years. Don't buy something online. You have no idea what you're getting. 0% financing for up to 5 years. Make sure it's a Golden Diamond Source diamond. 3800 Ulmerton Road. Always online at goldendiamond.com. Hey guys, you already know that Riveters is the best sports bar in all of Tampa Bay, but now it gets even better for Rays baseball season. During all Rays games, check this out, $6 Tito's, $6 Jack, $6 margaritas, all during Rays games. Are you kidding me? And that's always a great pour from the great bartenders at Riveters. Great service, great food, everything is fresh, nothing is frozen. And let me tell you, if you want baseball and wings, you will not find any better than Riveters. Their sauces, like the blue cheese and the ranch and everything, is handmade, and the wings are big and they're perfect. Wings, baseball, Rays, Riveters. It all comes together during baseball season. Once again, in addition to all the great food and service, you get $6 Tito's, $6 Jacks, $6 margaritas. It's time to celebrate. Baseball season is back, and celebrate at Riveters. You know where it is, right there on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of the stadium. See you there at Riveters. Pitch Roofing believes giving back is part of doing business the right way. That's why they proudly offer exclusive discounts to those who gave the most to our communities, including veterans, first responders, seniors, and teachers. And for listeners of the JP Peterson Show, there's even more good news. Pitch Roofing is now offering a special discount just for fans of the show. With so many roofing companies coming and going in Florida, it's important to choose a contractor you can count on long after the job is done, especially when it comes to honoring your warranty. Pitch Roofing is built for the long haul with a reputation for quality, transparency, and standing behind their work. Whether it's a repair or a full replacement, their team delivers honest guidance, quality workmanship, and no high-pressure sales. Call 727-67-PITCH, 727-677-4824, or visit pitchroofing.com to schedule a free estimate.
Pitch roofing, roofing done right.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
Yeah, big thanks to our friends at pitchroofing.com. By the way, call them because the hurricane season coming up, right? If by chance we get hit again and a lot of roofs come off, everybody's going to be looking for a roofer, right? This is why you call them now. Get in line, get to know your roofing company. They'll come out and they'll talk to you about the whole thing. What happens if, how long your roof has left in its life if it doesn't get blown off. So you find out a lot about the key thing in your house that you really need to know about, and that's your roof. So give them a call. It's a free estimate. Just call them. They'll come out and educate you about everything. What happens if there may be some damage up there right now you don't know about. That's important. So call them and get in line. This is what they do. You'll know exactly who your roofing company is. So if something happens and everybody's looking for a roofing company, you'll already have yours at pitchroofing.com. Tell them JP sent you. Great folks over there. All right, my friend.
Done right.
Roofing done right. Yeah, they got the best jingles too. Really, really good stuff. And you get a JP discount. You get a JP discount. Everybody needs a JP discount. All right. So I mentioned this. Yannick Sinner was the prohibitive favorite at the French Open. He was plus 300. Or minus 300 to win the French Open. A 1-3 payout, right? That's the best favorite since Nadal in 2009 at Roland Garros.
Yep.
And that's because Carlos Alcaraz did not enter the tournament. And they had that epic 5-setter last year. One of the greatest tennis matches you'll ever see. If you missed it, go watch it over the weekend. Freaking unbelievable. And he was on a 29-match winning streak, and he was up 6-3. What was it? 6-2, 6-3, 5-1 in the third.
Yeah.
6-3, 6-2, 5-1 in the third. And lost.
Needed a set. Just needed that last set.
Last game. That's all he needed was.
Last game, yeah.
He was serving for the matchup 5-2, was broken at love, and double faulted the last point of the game. Sarundolo won 18 of the final 20 games to win 3-6, 2-6, 7-5, 6-1, 6-1. What an epic collapse. Like, I don't know. Like, that's almost like being up in a football game 35-0 and in the third quarter and losing the game. Like, I can't even imagine.
I mean,
how
we talking Atlanta Super Bowl?
Yeah, it's not, but it's worse than that.
I think it's worse.
It's worse than that, because
it's being up 28-3 at the 2-minute warning.
Obviously, there's no clock in tennis, so it's hard to kind of look at it that way. But you just had to win one game, man, and then you served for it 3 times. Yeah, I mean that is, and for a player of his caliber. Like, how do you choke that? And it wasn't even an injury. Yeah, that was absolutely incredible. So now the French Open is wide open. I just know this. An American man won't win it.
You ever play on clay?
Oh, yeah, all the time. That's all I play on. Yeah.
So do you play on grass before?
Never played on grass.
So I was part of a country club back in the 90s when I was young and before kids and first wife and still had money. Here in Dallas, Brookhaven Country Club, and we had all 3 surface courts indoors. Well, the grass was outside, but the other 2 obviously were inside. But it was, man, it's crazy. It is crazy just how different those surfaces are to play on. I loved all of them, man. Clay probably my favorite.
Yeah, clay just so much. I mean, I play on hard court now.
Yeah,
I can't recover. My knees will just.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's like forget about it. Yeah, but yeah, clay is so good on your legs. That's why it's great exercise. All right, back to the you guys, the Petermans. Tim, will Montreal Canadian Bacons win Game 5 at 8:00 tonight, or are they cooked?
Here, let me answer that this way.
Yeah.
They're done. They're done.
They're toast.
Yep.
By the way, I had our end of season Lightning Vision party last night with our boss John Franzone and
nice.
Stephen Fry, our producer, and all the great people that I work with, and Greg Wolf. I don't know if I'm able to announce this, but Greg, okay, I'll say this. Greg Wolf will be joining us from the World Cup. He will be our World Cup correspondent. Just I'll leave it that way.
World Cup of American football?
Soccer.
Oh.
Anyway, saw him last night. And all my crew, and John Franzone announced that for this, I think it's the second straight year, they do a fan survey, and our game production, Lightning Vision game production, was once again ranked number 1 in the NHL. Number 1 in the NHL. So thanks to all the team that I work with and to you fans for voting for us. So yeah, we're kicking ass. We're kicking ass, and it's a great group to work with. I'm so honored and privileged to work for that organization, and specifically the Lightning Vision team led by John Franzone. Just an incredible group of talented people that get shit done. So as far as Montreal goes, I thought these have been some really good games, by the way. Really entertaining hockey to watch. Montreal was at their worst last game. Damn, Doba kept them in the game. Carolina was just all freaking over them. And as I look at it right now, I mean, it looks like Carolina and Vegas, obviously, in the final. I don't see, and of course, we're pulling for Torts, absolutely, but I don't see how anybody beats Carolina. They are playing great hockey right now. Really, really good. Anderson's fantastic in net. They're just really good. I think this might be their year.
I think Colorado could have. I think Colorado would have had everything for Carolina.
The McCarr and McKinnon injuries, and listen, what Torts has done in Vegas is a tremendous story. It is a tremendous story, and we'll be inducting him into the Sports Club of Tampa Bay Hall of Fame next week. He was supposed to join us. I'd been texting with him a couple of months ago before he got the job, and he was really excited to come in and get inducted into our Hall of Fame and have a great, reconvene with a lot of the folks at the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now we're still going to induct him. I'm going to be texting with him today to see if he can send us an acceptance speech, a little video. But man, what a story. And just hear everybody, all the players talk about Torts and what he's brought to them, and really got their ass going, motivationally, kind of simplified things a little bit. I think it was also that, Cassidy had kind of worn out his welcome among the players, and they just, they weren't playing at their level. And it's odd to see a coach be dismissed so late in the season, but that's how bad it had gotten in that dressing room. And they were underperforming. It's a really good hockey team, and Torts has come in and lit the fire on him. And, he was also part of the coaching staff for Team USA. So even though the coaches don't get medals, they get rings. Been a nice year for Torts, getting the gold medal, and then now maybe the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
Awesome. Really cool. And for those who don't know, John Tortorella is an awesome dude. I know he comes off as an asshole. I get it. He don't care.
A lot of good coaches do, though. I mean, he's just
unapologetically who he is. And I love that about Torts. But he is a super kind man, really good dude. And, a lot of media don't like him because he calls them out, and he just doesn't suffer fools. And I have no problem with that. You ask a stupid question, he's going to get you. And I'd done that to him, and I don't take it personally. I'm like, yeah, that was a stupid question. You're right. So anyway, I couldn't be more happy for Torts. What a dude. And I'll be pulling for him, obviously, for sure. Kurt Thorson says, Jameis is my trigger word. 5 years as a Buck fan, I will never get back. Horrible. No, wait a minute, Kurt. Those are some entertaining games. That dude was entertaining. He may be one of the most entertaining on or off the field. That dude is something. I love Jameis. I never will not. I can't help it. Tim Weatherspoon says, who cares about Mike? He's gone. Let him go. Yeah,
fans are still allowed to care. Yeah, you can still care.
But I think your bigger point is we're moving on, and we're better. I think I made a very good case for we're better. We're a better receiving core without Mike Evans. There, I said it.
Yeah, I would agree.
I said it. David Terry says, the only thing I see us missing with Mike gone is those corner end zone touchdowns. Oh, wait do you see Ted Hurst, baby? Wait do you see Ted Hurst? I'm just saying. We got that X receiver, big dude, knows how to use his body. Go look at the tape from Georgia State. I mean, I know those aren't NFL corners. I get it. Or even high-level college corners, but he knows how to go up and high point a ball. He definitely does. Alejandro says, you're right, Timmy. Unfortunately, Mike pulled the Uno reverse card of what Brady did when Brady came here. Does that mean Brady is hated by New England fans? Hell no. You honor them, and it's a new day. Yeah, Mike's never going to – he doesn't stain his legacy leaving here. Not at all.
No.
In any way, shape, or form. No way. And again, he might have done us a big favor.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we would be – if he was still on this team as our receiving core, all those guys I mentioned are just getting better. So I think if Mike was still here, would we be better? That's like saying, would Mike be better than Ted Hurst? Of course. But I just think as a whole, the receiving core is going to be better than last year's. Does that make sense? And the offense as a whole, I think, will be better because of the new OC and hopefully a offensive line that's healthy. Josh Grizzard was switched up the offense to protect Baker, says Nathan Elliott. He went back to the Miami Mike offense. Please note he was in Miami for years prior to coming to Tampa. Well, I mean, yeah, you had to protect Baker with that offensive line. They needed help. Kurt Thorson said Pooh Shiesty was at the council meeting yesterday, presented himself as the N-word. Clendena gavelled him. P. Shiesty, bitch, you're out of order. Tampa Bay City Council, ladies and gentlemen. Did he actually say, P. Shiesty, you're out of order, bitch?
Oh, my God, that's awesome.
What a clown show. Oh, my God. Oh, God. Not Alan, that's not your fault. You're like the guy in the big hat and the big top. You just need to be better.
The ringleader.
Yeah, Donald Vesey reminds us that Brady threw 3 picks in the second half of the championship game. Yeah, the defense had to pick him up big time in that game. Absolutely. Kurt says, if there is a Ring of Honor this year, who goes in? I favor Gene Deckerhoff, Brady, Levante, and others maybe down the road. All 3 should get in. I mean, I don't know timing-wise if it matters, but all 3 should get in. And I don't think they've announced yet because the schedule just came out. But I think there will be a Ring of Honor game this year because we got a lot of candidates that need to get in.
Yeah.
So we'll see who goes. Any of those would be good for me. Don Vincenzo says, I think Bowles lost it when he went all Madden blitz against the Rams and lost the game, needs to find his mojo back. You mean way back in the playoff game? Yeah. I don't know. I think I've said my piece about him. Michael Lewis says special teams hasn't been good since Light got here. Yeah, I think it's more about the coaching we've had than the GM. The GM can't make special teams a priority. You got to you're not drafting special teams players. I think your coach has to find them and develop them and have a system that works. And this guy, Danny Smith, will get them better. Let's see how good they are this year with a good coach, a good proven coach. I don't think it's Jason Light's fault. I'll have to disagree with you there. What else we got here? Rick says, is JP asking the fans to spell Peterman on their chest? He overestimates the spelling prowess of said fans. Yeah, how would that come out? I mean, please do. That'd be great if you did. Yeah, God, I wish I could go tonight. Sorry, guys. Father Time is undefeated, says Bantry. Dante Whitner had a good breakdown of Evans' decline. I don't see Anzalone loafing. Just saying. You mean Mike Evans' decline? I mean, it is 33-year-old receivers with hamstring issues. I mean, we love Mike, but that's what that is. Chronic hamstring issues. So, yeah. Kurt says Packers record in Ray J is awful. I think 2 wins all time. Is that true? I don't know about that. I thought they'd been better. Rick says Jamal Dean will sprain his ankle walking out of Ray J locker room. I love Jamal, but man, he's a bit of a China doll. Nathan Elliott says Wirfs and Gedeke will shut down Hutchinson. Yeah, listen, I think this, I got the Bucs at 10-7. I think that's about right. I think the roster may be better than that, but again, got to manage those games as a coach, and your defense got to be better. Yeah, but Gaines was set to have a breakout year, 1.5 sacks, 3 to 4 tackles. What are you talking about? I don't know what that is. Sorry. Nathan says the Ravens will lose their discipline without Harbaugh. Jackson is a coach killer, and the new Ravens coach will be his second execution. Jackson, the new coaches are fresh breath of, he did say that. The new coaches are a breath of fresh air. Yeah, that thing had run its course. You had to choose between Harbaugh and Lamar, and they chose Lamar. We'll see how that works out. Danny boy, I don't know what's going on with here as you're mentioning some Gilbert dude. I don't know who that is. They'll have to go back through and see what that's all about.
Are they going rogue on us today?
I don't know what that's all about. All right, I'll just put it up here. It says Gilbert continues. Any deal involving the Rays Stadium and entertainment complex must guarantee real vendor opportunities for local small business and restaurants, not just big outside corporations. I'm for that. Yeah, let's keep it all local. I think Ken's for that. He said that many times. I think we've talked about that on our show. He wants to have as many local vendors as possible. And I think they're committed to that. He said our local economy should be part of the foundation of this project, not an afterthought. Yeah, I would agree with that. And I think that's what they're trying to do. I mean, listen, you can't hire a bunch of construction companies that, don't know what they're doing and can't work at this level. That's just part of it. But I think in general, what you end up doing is hiring a ton of subcontractors who are all local. And it's not like, if you have to have these big companies do these big projects, you can't go hire a local construction company to build a $2.3 billion stadium, but you can, they're going to use local subs and you want to have those folks getting the jobs. Absolutely.
And talking about Anthony Gilbert, Tampa mayoral candidate.
Okay. Yeah. I will not support any agreement that uses public money in a way that takes away from essential city needs like infrastructure, housing, public safety, and community service. Again, in the same shit. You got to look. It all depends on how you look at it. You either look at it as an investment or a cost. You invest the money, you get more back to do these projects. Or you hold the money and you don't do these projects, your tax base shrinks, and you're shit out of luck. So you make your choice. I'm not voting for you for mayor. So that's if you're a mayoral candidate, I don't care. Kurt says if Montreal advances to the finals, it's Torts versus St. Louis. As a coach and former player that won a cup together, ever coached against each other for the cup? I would have to say that's a hard no. That would be awesome, but unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's Marty's time.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to get there. I really do. When Marty was first hired, I was like, I wonder what kind of coach he's going to be. And he's turned out, and not that he was going to be bad. I didn't think that. I just because typically great players don't make, good coaches. It's been a lot of different sports. Like hockey may be a little different. Yeah. With Brenda Moore. Right. But it just because great players, usually because they're talented, you can't teach talent, right? That's just because they're great players doesn't mean they're going to be great coaches. But Marty was a guy who had to be the smartest guy on the ice as well. Yeah. Because he wasn't, gifted from size, obviously, and had to work his ass off and develop his skills. But he really played the game with an incredible intelligence and awareness. So, yeah, I don't think it's a surprise that he's a great coach. And he really seems to – he's great with the media. He really doesn't seem to be too overwhelmed by anything. And, of course, playing in the biggest games prepares you for that. I think he's going to have a great career as a coach. I really, really do. And in Montreal, that's such a great fit. It's where he grew up. I went to his childhood home. It was really cool. I've told that story many times. Won't bore you with it again. How much local business went into Water Street? Asked Course. Some did. Others were from all over the place. Small Giant, Boulan, Predolina, Wagamama, Yard House. I mean, these are local restaurants. I mean, I know that. They're owned by Jeff Gigante owns a couple of those. So, yeah, I mean, it's not like these guys are, looking to go give the money to people outside. If they can do it the right way with local companies, they're going to do that. I think that's a kind of a no-brainer. And anybody railing against that is just looking for grandstanding time. It's not like they've said, oh, we're not going to do that. So, yeah. Michael LaRue says Bucs will win the NFC South at 9-8 and lose at home in the first round. Bowles will be fired. Yeah, you got them at 9-8. I got them at 10-7, and yeah, I got them probably losing first round as well. Yeah, depending on. Yeah, Danny Boy says Eileen Rodriguez, Wostall's opponent, will have a meet and greet tomorrow at Riveters from 12 to 1. Oh, cool. All right, Eileen Rodriguez, we got you. I'm on board. I was looking at her website the other day, though, and I couldn't really tell what she was for and against. I couldn't really get a feel for like her political soul, and I think that that's what these websites are about. So you don't want to give away too much. So I really couldn't get a feel for her. I mean, she was like, "Oh, I'm for growth, or I'm for jobs, and public safety." Oh, really? Thanks.
That narrows it down.
I mean, come on now. I'm not, I don't know who she is, honestly. I tried to get a feel for what she's all about, but anything would be better than Wostall. Wostall is my problem with him is the stadium and his sophomoric attitude. Right. Some of the other, issues, actually, I agree with him on, to be quite honest.
I just have one message for Eileen Rodriguez.
May God have mercy on your souls.
That's right. Going straight to hell.
Yep.
What else we got here? I'm going to try to get some fresh stuff in here. Mike H says, "Are you concerned he is a first-time OC coach? Does he have veteran coach to lean on?" Talk about Zach Robinson. Zach's not a first-time OC. He was the OC in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. So no, I'm not. He's been calling plays for a couple of years now, and he's very much in the Liam Cohen, Sean McVay tree. So I think this is when we started this search, that was the first name I said. And people ripped me for it. Oh, he sucks, Atlanta. You see that? And do your research.
Yeah.
Go look at that, what that situation was all about. Yeah.
What he did for Bijan Robinson, maybe he can do the same thing for Bucky Irving. Mm-hmm. Fingers crossed.
Kurt says the Packers won in Ray J in 2003 with Favre during Bucs Super Bowl hangover. 2014 Lovie Smith 2-14 season. That's it. Okay. Bantry says the Bucs are 12-5, split the division games and losses to Dallas and Rams. Wow, that's optimistic. Yeah, that's optimistic. Very. Yeah. Danny says, get Eileen Rodriguez on your show. Best way to piss off Wostall even more is to have his opponent on your show. Okay. Yeah, I'm down with that. Thomas Casper says Carlson signaling way forward via using other Tampa CRAs. No. Not sure what that means, to be honest. And listen, and this is where the negotiations that Babby's talking about come from. And then we want to get back into this. But the money, what he's talking about is this is where we want the pots of money to come from. All right, 180 from you, 976 here. So how would we get that money is open for discussion. How you all want to do it, what you want to call it, CIT, there's still lots of pots of money that they can get into to make it more politically palatable. And Babby is obviously open to that. But he's like, okay, this is the framework financially. This is how much we want to put in. Let's work from here on how you guys want to do it. That's where the negotiations will come in. All right. That'll do it for us here. It's been quite the week. Thanks to all our great guests. Ken Hagan, who came on this week. That was fun. Charlie Strong was great as always. Yeah, it's been a great week. And we thank all of you guys for being awesome. I'm off to Riveters for lunch. Hope you guys come join us at Riveters. Say hello. We'll be having wings. Timmy. I can't wait to get to the wings. It's like 15 minutes away. Woo! Hungry too.
So breaking news here in Dallas. The bar in Buffalo that invented the Buffalo Wings, the Anchor Bar, has just opened a location down here, right across the street from the soccer stadium.
Wow.
And Sunday, as my 17-year-old Eli just graduated high school last weekend, we were having his graduation dinner there on Sunday. So I will be able to come, because wings are his favorite food. Like, he's a wing connoisseur. So I thought, well, no better place to go than the birthplace of the wing, right? So we're going to be trying those, and I'll come back on Monday with a review for you guys. Yeah.
Restaurant review. All right.
Yep.
Let's end the show with this. Thomas Casper is off to take a woe stall. Attaboy. Attaboy. Have a great weekend, everybody. Go Rays. Tarps off tonight. You guys represent. Send me some stuff. I'll repost on socials. Have a great weekend. See you Monday.